Okay. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, can.
Okay. Thank you. All right, everyone. Welcome to Career Pathways, Session 2. I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right. So we're going to start off with something a little bit interesting. I'm going to get to know a little bit more about me. I'm going to tell you about my career so far, and you're going to note down these questions with whatever you have, whether it's on Notepad, whether it's on pencil, or wherever you can type or write on. You're going to write or type these questions. Where did your instructor begin? Where is your instructor now? What is the goal your instructor set in their own journey? What were concrete steps your instructor took to achieve their goal? And you're supposed to answer these questions and decipher the answer to those questions while I tell you a little bit about myself. And we'll debrief afterward. I'm going to go ahead and give you a minute so I can get that stuff out and be ready. 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom already now. I'm going to start. So I guess to say from the beginning, my first job ever was working at a Fiesta. If you don't know what Fiesta was, it was a grocery store. I was working in the produce section, doing customer service and also cutting up fruits and vegetables and water and stuff like that. After Fiesta, I then worked at a UPS warehouse. My goal from Fiesta to UPS was just to make more money. So I went ahead, took a job as a package handler at UPS. But while at UPS, I found generation. So I was working at UPS and I was taking a generation course on cloud technology. I was working at UPS during the night, taking 9 to 5 generation courses during the day. My goal from that point was and that in the next maybe year to have some kind of scope of technology and to be working in any type of field technology, even if it wasn't cloud. Let me see. I got my cloud practitioner. I then left UPS and started working for Cell Electronics, which is a computer repair shop. They repaired regular PCs, laptops, MacBooks, whatever technology you can get your hand on. Actually, worked for them for a good bit. I learned a lot from them. At this point, I didn't really care about the money. Just the fact that I was getting into technology was enough for me. But luckily for me, they were paying on the exact same wage that UPS was paying at the time. And a person I graduated with from Generation actually told me about the job, and he told me about the job after he had got the position, and he spoke up to me at the boss like, hey, I have a friend that also graduated from Generation from me. I think he'd be a good fit for the company. And you know what? They gave me I got the interview. I went in there and he gave me the job right after the interview. So again, when I talk about connections, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't know where your next job is going to come from. I worked for them for a good bit. Then I got my A+. I got my A+ certification since I was already working in that field. Then I got an email from Generation and some generation representatives got in contact with me, asking me. Okay, sorry, I was reading a message I just got. Then some generation representatives got in contact with me, asking me if I could come and be a TA for them. I accepted because I felt like Generation has done a lot for me, and Generation has kind of changed the scope of my life and my abilities and what I understand right now. So I definitely said yes. And I've been working with Generation ever since. And my goals now is that I'm still going to be working in technology. Right now, I'm just kind of doing this part time, and right now training and still learning in technology. I'm going to be working in the military. My goal right now is going to be I'm going to be in the military around next year this time. And working in the technology field as well. And that's pretty much where my career is right now. So I think I went a bit over time, but I feel like that's the scope of it. So I'm going to call on a few people to share the responses to the questions. Oscar Perez.
Yeah.
Where did
How did you manage to study and do UPS together?
I worked the night shift at UPS and I did Generation in the daytime.
So when did you sleep?
Believe it or not, when we took breaks at Generation, I took power naps, and then I would go home sleepy and take power naps, and then get myself ready for work and go to work.
That's difficult. You achieved it. Right? But
It took a lot of hard work, most definitely.
yeah, it's a lot.
Sorry. Oscar, do you ask a question like where I begin at? I don't think that was Oscar. I'm not even totally sure.
I'm sorry?
Oscar, was that you or no?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. Whoever spoke, but yeah, that's kind of how I did that. I worked daytime at Generation, and I worked nighttime at UPS, and slept whenever I could, and studied. So where did I begin, Oscar?
First you started off at Fiesta, then you moved on to UPS to make a little bit more. And then after that, I didn't get the name of the computer repair shop, but you moved on to the computer repair shop. And from there, you moved on to Generation.
Yeah, most definitely. I think where I am now is a bit reductive and not productive. Y'all already know I'm at Generation right now because I'm here right now, and I'm giving you a presentation on how I'm here right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip that one. Okay, what is a goal your instructor set in their own journey? Michelle, would you like to answer that one?
Hello, sure. One of the goals you set was to work in technology in the military.
Yeah, that's one of my current goals. My current goal is to work in technology in the military coming next year. Hopefully that goes well. What were concrete steps your instructor took to achieve their goal? So let me see. Nathan, what were some concrete steps that my instructor that I took to achieve some of my goals in my little career story?
It sounded like you was determined. You know, you didn't get a lot of sleep. You pretty much had a mindset of going through the cohort, and you kept up with your contacts, you know, for you to get that job.
Yeah, most definitely. And I promise this isn't this is leading up to something. But yeah, just staying persistent, putting a lot of hard work.
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask, what branch are you trying to go into?
At first I was really thinking about going to Marines, but I talked to my family. I talked to the the people that love me, and I'm probably most likely just going to be going to the Army.
Okay. I did 6 years in the Army.
Oh, really cool.
Yep.
If you got time, I'd love to ask about what you did. Well,
Sure.
that's after. I don't want to take up class time.
Right. Okay.
But cool. It's cool. I always love talking to veterans. Where are we at now? All right, let's go on. And do anyone mind reading the objectives for me? Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read them. Do you want me to read the first one or all the bullet points?
Just all the bullet points.
Okay. The first one's articulate how goal settings helps in career growth in my industry. List the steps for creating goals and action plans for my career. Demonstrate how to create a short-term goal and 3 action steps to achieve a goal within my career plan.
Most definitely. So basically, this is all this presentation is about. That's why we did that little thing that we did before. That's why I explained some of my career history. And for y'all to answer those questions, to know that these short term and these long term goals matter, and to have something to strive for and work for also matters when you're doing anything, especially in your career. Right. So pretty much doing our opening right now. Do introduction to goal setting. Going to be doing how to create my goal for my preferred career path. Because again, I may sound like a broken record saying this. You may not want to do cloud at all. Cloud may not be something that you want to continue further, and that's okay. There's a lot of career fields in technology. Cloud could just be a little kick in the pants or a little boost that you could add on your resume when you're learning other stuff to do in technology. So I don't think that cloud is the end all and be all. But again, still a good career.
Is cloud something that you want to stay in, or
I'm sorry?
is cloud something that you want to continue doing?
Yeah, most definitely. Cloud is something I want to keep doing, but I'm just interested in all technologies, period. If I could stay in cloud, yeah. If I don't, I have no problem with that because I also like repairing technology as well. I'm particularly interested in IoT, which is Internet Things, which is something you'll learn later. But definitely, cloud is something that you can really get into, man. You can do a lot with them. Okay, move on. All right. So, why is it important to set goals for your career? Does anyone want to answer that?
If you don't know where you're headed, how are you going to get there?
Most definitely. That's why we have short-term goals, and that's why we have long-term goals. Most definitely. If you don't know what you're trying to achieve, how do you know that you achieved it? Not going to be working towards anything. I'm going to go ahead and specify short-term goals. When we talk about short-term goals, we're talking about more immediate goals that you set for yourself to achieve larger and long-term goals. You can think of short-term goals as a milestone or stepping stone. Short-term goals actually exist in a short-term mind frame, anywhere from days to months, maybe 1 or 2 years. Examples are to short-term goals might include completing small tasks, projects, getting experience, taking classes, pretty much all the above. So it's kind of up to you to dictate what is going to be a short term, what's going to be a long term. Long term goals are usually large. Want to achieve over several years, you will use several milestones to achieve long term goals, setting short term goals to achieve it along the way. So again, just to iterate short term goals, good goals, milestones to what's your really large goal that's going to take you a bit of time to do and process. Okay. Minute. I'm sorry. Did anyone say anything? Okay. I guess that was just feedback. All right. In order to achieve the goals, what mindset will be most helpful?
Future oriented.
Yeah, most definitely. Future orientation will be most helpful to achieve one's goals. Four steps to help develop a roadmap and create smart career goals. So the 4 steps are. Oops. The 4 steps put on the slide. So basically, the 4 steps was to number 1, highlight your theme. Number 2, create goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, which is, comes to SMART, SMART. Step 3, identify goals to achieve your goals. Step 4, monitor progress and adjust as needed. Because we're humans, we're adaptable, and sometimes you're gonna have to be comfortable after.
Can you repeat step 3?
I'm sorry. I'm using my phone as an audio source. Step 3, identify actions to achieve your goals. I'm also going to put that in chat as well while I'm at it. Oh, thank you, Caleb. I appreciate that. I just realized that you already started putting them. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Great. I'm going to go ahead and share a career planning template with you all. One moment. Okay. Well, this is loading. Well, while the template is loading for me, so I can give it to you. What you're going to do is you're going to take about 5 minutes and read through the example template and reflect on the following questions that you see on screen. It didn't go fly. All right, let me see. We sure gonna start today. All right, there goes the document. Make a copy if you have Google Drive. Download it if you don't. That if you just so happen to have editing permissions for some strange reason, please don't. So it is what? About 6:28. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to call on 3 or 4 people to share their response to some of the questions for those. So go ahead, look over the template, and go ahead and reflect on the questions for about 5 minutes.
So are we supposed to be filling out the template that you just sent us?
Most definitely. Which group? Let me see. So I can actually put it on the screen as well. Yep, most definitely. Answer the templates. And then once you do that, go through the reflection questions. You don't really got to fill it out right now. I would just think about it in your mind and then think about how that reflects to the reflection questions right now. Like how on the template it says, what career path interests me the most? What path in technology you think would be a fun turnaround? Okay, cloud. It's cloud. Some of the stuff we're going to be learning is programming in Python. Maybe Python interests you the most. Maybe Linux. Maybe Linux interests you the most. And you want to know more about the operating system. You want to be a Linux admin. I do not know. Then you put that as, career path that interests me the most. And then you see the reflection question is the chosen career path relevant to the industry? Yeah, I would say the ones that I just spelled out is pretty relevant to the industry of technology. Where it says, what is my long-term goal? What is my short-term goal? You think about it, you'll answer it. Are the long-term and short-term goals SMART? Which by SMART, we mean specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You would reflect on that. Are the short-term goals aligned with the long-term goal? Yeah. You would align on that. Are the action steps aligned with the short-term goals? Timeline realistic? Is the support required accessible? That being said, I might give more time on that. I'll think about it. Our time isn't that really squashed in like it used to be. So go ahead, think about it. Fill it out, or maybe you can just think of the questions in the template.
Can
And
somebody give me an example of what would be a good long-term goal for this course for it?
Become
Completing,
CIO of a Fortune 500 company.
That would be after the fact. I'm saying for this class itself, towards the end, what would be our long-term goal for this class specifically? I understand after the class.
completing the Generation USA program.
Getting certified.
So those are goals that we can think about,
Yeah.
which are technically short-term goals that would get towards the ones that Mr. Rogers just mentioned, which is our long-term goals. So we've got to look at what goals can we accomplish from now until 6 months from now. Are they really realistic towards what I really want to achieve? In other words, I had a student once who told me that they want to be able to build their own car. That was their goal that they turned in. Now, Vivian, that you have your hand open, up. Do you think that that's a realistic goal? Me wanting to put that as a goal, being able to build a car as a goal for me for this?
Not at all. I do not. That would
Just wanna
be
make sure.
out of out of the realm of what we're studying.
Just making sure. I mean, I know they got computers in them, but I'm not sure if building a car from scratch and or even a PC from scratch would be a goal that I want to say that's really what I want to do. That's just little tasks. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had a question.
No, I was just gonna answer your question what my long-term goal was for this class.
Mm-hmm.
Pass my Linux administrator certificate. After this,
that's a nice one to have, really, especially for those that are looking into the cloud. Linux
right.
is one of the things you want to be able to concentrate and learn. A lot of you probably have been stuck in Windows.
That's right.
And haven't played too much with it. So the more you can play with it, the better. And in a cloud guru, you're gonna have the capability of spinning up virtual machines in the cloud that are already with the different types of flavors. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I think they have Debian, they have I think they have the Red Hat one, and I'm not sure if they had, I know they had like 2 or 3 of them. Ubuntu, they had, I'm not sure if they had Lime, but they had the other one. Either which way, which one, I'm sorry? CentOS, right?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So when you see the actual course itself, you'll see that when you're going to spin up an actual virtual machine, when we get to that point, that there is already a dedicated one that you can create for yourself. So that's an awesome feature that there is for those that don't have any type of Linux machine in their house. Sorry about that. Back to you, Chat, in our previous program.
No problem. I'll give you like 5 more minutes to let them or at least think about it and think about the answer to the reflection question. Be brief on it. And be just calling on people again. Three, and each group is to choose a career path as well as a long-term goal career path. So again, some cooperation and teamwork is going to be needed in this activity that your group chose, and to give us some of the action plan, some of the short-term goals and long-term goals and action plan that y'all drafted together.
Hey. So ours, give me 1 second. Do you need me to like share my screen or something, or do I just read it off?
You can just read it off.
All right, cool.
Short-term goal, long-term goal, some of the action steps.
Our career path was entry-level cloud engineer. One of our long-term goals was to become a senior DevOps engineer and open a business to sell products for cloud computing. Some of our short-term goals were get certified in CompTIA Plus and AWS, and enhance our skills in IT. Some of the action plans that we said was to study for the CompTIA exam and then pass it by the end of the year. And then another one was to finish our course here at Generation UAS to then pass our AWS exam beginning of next year.
Okay, very solid. Thank you, room 1. So, room 2. Do you have your presenter? Just in case you don't know, room 2 was Benjamin, Elizabeth, Nathan, and Oscar.
I can speak a little bit on it. We went ahead and did a solutions architect. So our short-term goal is obviously getting through with the generation program, which is going to be done hopefully within by the end of January. Then after that, we would go and do our internship, and after our internship, then we would go down the solutions architect path and just continue on till we get to solutions architect professional
All right.
within
good.
2 years.
I'm sorry. What was that last part?
Within 2 years.
Okay, within 10 years. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Room 3. Do you have your presenter? Room 3 is Anton, Haley, Janelle, Michelle.
Yes, I'll go. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
We chose data analytics architect.
Okay.
We're ambitious. The short-term goal, of course, was to finish the program here with the relevant certifications that we have the opportunity to take advantage of. Also to help develop our network using the resources that we're going to be provided in terms of resume writing and interviewing, to use this to kind of build into our first job as a cloud engineer, and then from there begin to specialize on the analytics side and just build as we go.
All right. Sounds good. Solid plan.
Thank you.
Room 4. You have a presenter?
Yeah, I'll speak. All right, our career path was product designer. And our short-term goal was to complete this Google UX design certification. Long-term would be, of course, to become a product designer. The action plans, step 1, well, pass the Google UX design. The course is around 6 months, so time frame 6 months. To pass it, you take make sure to study well, do good note taking, get involved in the Coursera forums, and ask any TAs questions for any problems you might have. Step 2 in the action plan is to improve other skills needed to become a product designer, like Sketch and Envision. We'll give ourselves between 3 to 6 months to fine tune our skills. And this, you could use Google to look up for any tips or tricks, or look up on YouTube for any tutorials that will make the process easier and quicker for you. Step 3 is to become a product designer either at Google, YouTube, or Netflix. We'll give since it's a lofty goal, we'll give ourselves a goal between 6 months to a year. And during this time, we'll fine tune our cover letter, our resume. We'll make sure to make as many contacts as possible, and make sure our LinkedIn is up to task.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good job. Very nice home food product. Okay, room 5. Your presenter, please. If you may.
So we picked entry-level cloud engineer, and our short-term goal was to finish the program, and then after we finish the program, of course, get our AWS certification. But we also said to make other action plans to expand our skills into Linux and Python, so getting further certifications within that. Also, we said to apply for internships and apprenticeships too, to help us to gain more skills to get that entry-level job. We said to sign up for networking circles, doing continuing education by keeping up to date on technology, going to workshops, webinars with the cloud related. Also, goal will be to get a job as a junior entry-level cloud engineer, and making sure to reach out to our employer and seek opportunities to advance and learn, perhaps maybe having our employer support us to continuing to get certifications to make us excel in this position, and to then project out what specific area within the cloud or in what other area we want to expand our career to. And that's what we said.
All right, cool. Good job. Very nice. Nice tightening the boat. All right, room 6.
Okay, it's me. So, which career path interests us the most is entry-level cloud engineering.
Okay.
Our long-term goal is to earn AWS Certified Solutions Architect certificate and to get an entry-level job in Generation USA. Our short-term goal is to finish and graduate our online training from Generation as a junior AWS Cloud practitioner, to take AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam, and to change our career. The action plan looks like the first action plan is 1, to finish and graduate our online training from Generation as a junior AWS Cloud practitioner. The deadline will be on January 13, 2022. The support we need is instructional support from instructors and TS to develop our technical knowledge, behavioral skills, and mindset. The second action step is to earn AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. The deadline will be from January 20 up to January 13, 2022. The support to be looking for is support from TS to develop our technical knowledge and skills, hands-on lab and practice exams. The final action plan is to find an entry-level job and change our careers. This will be probably after our graduation, after 90 days of our graduation on May 30, 2022. We need a help from the career coach of Generation to give, we need a career tips and the guidance, preparation of resume and cover letters and job interview preparation. This is all we discussed. Thank you.
Okay. Well, definitely. All right. Very good. Room 7.
Okay, so we picked the entry-level cloud engineer. Ours is going to sound a lot like room number 5. But the first like short-term goals to finish this course and hopefully get certified in AWS. And after that, maybe landing an internship where you can learn on the job. And that can be 3 to 6 months depending on the company, which also will help with making connections as well. And I want to add in as well, like beyond AWS, maybe other cloud platforms, like maybe getting some Google certification in their cloud stuff on top of it. And after that, by 2023 for the long-term goal, just landing an entry-level job as a cloud engineer. And that's what we ended up with.
All right, sounds good. I also want to throw out there, since y'all are already going to be learning AWS cloud, other clouds from other companies like Azure and Google. It's going to be the same concepts and methodologies. Just UI is going to be different. So yeah, most definitely. If you decide you want to get a certification in another cloud type from another company, it'll be that much easier. Yeah, good job. Room 8.
All right, that's me. So we picked the same one, cloud engineer. And so our first step was signing up for the Cloud Guru Linux exam, and then we'll be working with Generation, and then read the Cloud Guru notes and videos, and then in order to achieve all this, we're going to study every day. I have a specific study plan, be consistent on it. And then our third goal was, and then eventually become an AWS senior level cloud practitioner, and then passing, in order to achieve this, passing on necessary certificates required for completing AWS, get ready for interviews, get experience in companies, and then obviously learn more technical skills revolving around that specific career, and then join back generation for senior level cloud practitioner, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. We have a few more rooms, about like 2 more rooms. Room 11.
So the short-term goal that we picked was long-term goal that we picked was to get an entry-level cloud engineer job. And pretty much the short-term goals that we set in place to get to the long-term goal were pretty much to get our AWS certification here in Generation USA. Along the way, we discussed that we would need to network and make friends with our classmates and hopefully our TAs that can pretty much refer us to where we need to head to in the right direction. Once we complete the program, our next step would pretty much be to build our resume and our cover letters and pretty much tailor them to the positions that we're applying for. Hopefully that leads to an interview, and pretty much would be preparing ourselves for the interview and then getting our foot in the door and hopefully landing the job.
All right. Thank you. Okay, appreciate it. Room 12.
Hi. So our short-term goal for this was to attain an entry-level job as a cloud engineer by March 2022. And then our long-term goal would be to attain a job working as a product designer / developer for any cloud solutions company, AWS, Google Cloud, within the next 3 to 5 years. So the first step that we would have taken in that would be obviously to finish the Generation USA training and utilize all the assets provided by Generation. Following that would be actually completing our our short-term goal. And then for that would be to use Glassdoor and other sort of interview prep questions, attend job fairs. And while working at the entry-level position, to prep us for finding the big goal would be to bulk up our portfolio with personal and work projects. And to have at least 10 to 15 projects, each with a minimum of 5,000 lines of code.
All right, that's good. All right. Very nice. And last room, room 13.
Hi. For room 13, we've kind of set up a 2-year timeline for a cloud product manager position, ultimately living the dream in Seattle somewhere as a 2-income household, work in the tech world. So starting with the short-term goal is to graduate and complete this this program as junior cloud practitioner and land an internship and hopefully get a paid, hire as a paid staff within 60 days after the internship, and work our way up with a 2-year timeline. Just going through the process of getting the certifications of the next one down, and honing up on our networking with other tech in the tech world with our classmates here, and doing the best we can in order to move up the resume. Networking, I know it's a big process in learning how to land the next job up. So that is the kind of the goal we all talked about in the room today.
Okay, Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I know, like a lot of y'all have good amount of certifications in there as well. I'm getting them from different sources. Companies may have their own certifications and branches that you may want to move up once you're inside a maybe internship or company, and they have a process of moving up. So I also think about that as well. Don't think of it much of a straight line. Think of it as a tree with multiple endings. Okay. So anyone, any group can speak, any person can speak. What was easy to accomplish in your breakout room activity? Any volunteers? No, no. Did I put y'all to sleep?
I would say the easiest thing, I mean, the easier part was to not just talk about the role that we had, but pick out who would do what based on the pre-discussions we had before the roles were picked. I think that would be it. More like creating a quick synergy amongst the group that you created. I mean, that I was in, with the guys that I was put in the same group with. Having a proper discussion about what we're going to pick and how we're going to define, I mean, attack it and define the roles for each and everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Having a discussion, defining rules. Be very easy. Luckily, you know, I feel like, you know, a lot of everyone in this group is pretty, you know, mature in nature, and you know, all of us are adults, so we know how ourselves. We know how to work with people. Down the line in whatever career you choose, you may have some people that are not as agreeable and are problematic. So look forward to that. But no, you eventually get to learn how to handle that as well. I think there's also a presentation on that as well. So, that's what we have here today, right? Anyone else? What was challenging about this breakout room activity? So I got to start calling names.
What was challenging was finding everything necessary to get from point A to point B in the amount of time we had. Then finding, okay, when we have this step, what are you going to do to make sure you get there? Or help along this step?
All right, most definitely. So the research, I can see how the research can be the most challenging part in any sort of project or activity, because you got to get credible information. Okay, anyone? What support do you think you would need to overcome the challenges that were discovered for each goal? Also, while I'm at it, I want you all to be aware that if you send me messages while I'm presenting, I'm not looking at them, or able to look at them while I'm presenting. And when I'm not presenting or I'm doing something else, I'll be sure to respond to you. So while I'm presenting, if you send me messages, I'm not gonna be able to respond to them. I just want that to be made aware across the board, because I hear notifications that I'm getting messages, like I'm getting DM'd, not able to see them while I'm presenting. All right. So, any volunteers? What support do you think you would need to overcome the challenges that were discovered for each goal? Any volunteers?
Oh, Chad, I was trying to chime in on the last question. Sorry to kind of roll it back on you, but one of the things that I found challenging was to feel comfortable being ambitious.
Yeah.
We we discussed imposter syndrome, I believe it was last week, and it takes different forms. It's not always something that clearly evident like you may think, but giving yourself permission to be ambitious, giving yourself permission to set big goals and to believe in yourself, and just taking a moment to realize, just kind of push past your comfort zone sometimes.
Yeah, well, definitely. So saying be comfortable being uncomfortable, basically, because you're gonna have to push back. Gonna have to push past that barrier at some point. Not too far where everything self-destructs, but enough to where you grow. All right. Can I get anyone to summarize what they learned today in this presentation?
I learned that we have to take control of where we want our careers to go. And it doesn't have to be just a straightforward path. Like we might have some detours and that's okay. But as long as we know our long-term goal, everything will be fine.
Most definitely. Appreciate that. Thank you for long-term. Thank you guys for participating. Our next presentation will be on LinkedIn, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a 10-minute break. It's 7:38 right now, Central. So go ahead and come back at 7:48, and we'll start our LinkedIn session.